Hi class, sorry that I cannot be with you today. We're going to start off class like we do every other day. So I couldn't check your notes today, but I will check your notes on Monday when I come in. We're going to start by going over the last example from the video and a few examples before you start your classwork. If you would please right now, take out your note packet, the yellow packet, and turn to page 15. This should be the example that you ended yesterday's video with. So it says angle PHS and angle GEO are supplementary. If PHS is 2x plus 10 and GEO is 4x minus 28, calculate the measure of GEO. So first thing that you're told is that the angles are supplementary. So from the video, you should remember that that means that they add to 180 degrees. Okay, so I have two angles and they add to 180 degrees. So you should have done 2x plus 10 plus 4x minus 28 equals 180. From here, you need to combine like terms. 2x and 4x will give us 6x. 10 and negative 28 will give us negative 18. So you should have had 6x minus 18 equals 180. If I add 18 to both sides, I get 6x equals 198. Dividing by 6, I get x equals 33. Now remember that that's not your final answer. The question says to calculate the measure of angle GEO. So that's what we have to do next. The measure of angle GEO is going to be 4 times 33 minus 28. So 4x minus 28. When you do that, you get the measure of angle GEO to be 104 degrees. So hopefully you got that one right. If not, hopefully you see what mistake you made. So that's what you should have gotten for the end of the video. We do have a few warm-ups that we're going to do on the next page. So if you would flip to page 16, please. Okay, so we are going to move to 1.5. Okay, so starting with example number 1, it says calculate the values of x and y. So we're going to notice in example 1, we have two expressions with x, this expression and this expression, and we have one expression with y. Because we're solving for x and y, we're going to need two equations, one for x, one for y. Because we have two expressions with x, we're going to start with finding x. Now, I need to think, what relationship exists between those two angles that have x? Well, they form a straight angle. They form 180 degrees. So, I'm going to start with that. I have 5x add 12x minus 41 equals 180. 5x and 12x is going to give me 17x minus 41 equals 180. If I add 41 to both sides, I get 17x equals 221. Next, if I take 221 and I divide it by 17, I get x equals 13. Okay, so now let's substitute that in. 5 times 13 is going to give me an angle of 65. 12 times 13 minus 41 is going to give me an angle of 115. Now, to check, that's good. I have two angles that add to 180. So 65 and 115 add to be 180. But I still need to find y. Now, I'm going to have to use those other two angles, the two red angles, in order to find y. I notice that these two angles are vertical. They're going to be congruent. So I have 5y equals 12x minus 41, but I already substituted in that 13 for x, which ended up being 115. So I get 5y equals 115. If I divide 115 by 5, I get 23. So y is 23. So that was example number 1. Example number 2, it says the following angles are complementary. Find the measure of angle B. So complementary means they sum to 90. So I'm going to have 2x plus 10 plus negative x plus 55 equals 90. Now 2x minus x is going to be x. 10 and 55 is going to be 65. So I have x plus 65 equals 90. If I subtract 65, I get x equals 25. Now the question says, find the measure of angle B. So I need to substitute that in. So I get negative 25 plus 55. So the measure of angle B ends up being 30 degrees. Okay, one more to do, and then you're going to start working on your classwork. So example 3, it says the measure of one angle is 38 degrees less than the measure of its supplement. Find the measure of each angle. So I'm going to start by drawing a figure. I know that I have supplementary angles. So it's going to be two angles that are going to sum to 180. Okay, it says the measure of one angle is 38 degrees less than the measure of its supplement. So if we mark one of the angles X, it says the other one is 38 less than that. So it's going to be X subtract 38. So this is what I'm looking at. Now, they're supplementary, so they sum to 180. So I'm going to have X add X minus 38 equals 180. So this becomes 2X minus 38 equals 180. If I add 38, I get 2X equals 218. So X is equal to 109 degrees. Now the question asks us to find each angle. So one of the angles is 109 degrees. The other one is going to be X, 109, subtract 38, which is going to end up being 71 degrees. Now they add to 180, which is good. So just a mental check. Are my two angles supplementary? Yes, they are. So hopefully this worked to warm up our brain. You are now going to be working on today's classwork, which is pages 20 through 22 in the gold packet. So pages 20 through 22 in the gold packet. On Monday, I'm going to be checking two videos, the video that's due today and the video that you will have tonight for homework, and I will be checking today's classwork. Good luck.